to the newsfeed, PM. Thanks for staying on. August online searches for used cars increased by 55% year on year, with record traffic numbers being recorded now on AutoTrader. Prior to lockdown 2020, we saw an indication that there were an average of about 31% increase in searches. Motoring industry expert and CEO of AutoTrader, Mienie, joins us now to unpack some of these changes in consumer behavior on lockdown level 2. George, good afternoon, and thank you for your time this afternoon. We've been now on lockdown level 2 since the 18th of August. How are consumers behaving?
Hi, Thabo, and thank you for having me. Consumers generally are not buying new cars. They're buying used more than they're buying new, and that's more than likely one of the big reasons we're seeing these big increases in search behavior. As you mentioned, 55% year-on-year increase in search in the month of August. And these are record highs, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. So South Africans are also searching for cheaper cars. The top 5 most searched for price brackets are 200,000, 100,000, 300,000, 400,000, and 250,000. But the 50,000 Rand price bracket has grown by 57% year on year, which is one of the highest growth rates that we've seen.
Goodness me. Are these new buyers, George, or are these buyers who are trading in their cars?
No, these are buyers of cars that are searching for those price brackets. So 57% increase in under 50,000 Rand vehicles.
And on the high-end level, your million Rand cars, are we seeing any movements there?
Well, interesting that you asked that question, Thabo, because what we've seen in August, which is kind of a breakout of search behavior, is cars up to 600,000 Rand have increased by 58%. And we're seeing the higher-end cars gain a bit of traction. 700,000 Rand cars and 800,000 Rand cars have increased by 51 and 48% respectively. So while the 50,000 Rand price bracket has surged, and we haven't seen search behavior to that level before, the 6, 7, and 800,000 Rand car price bracket seems to be gaining momentum. What that shows, it could be that consumers might be doing better in lockdown level 2 than they did in lockdown level 4 or 5.
Or could it be that the prices of vehicles have dropped? Have we seen a significant drop in the prices of vehicles? We know that the repo rate has come down, certainly quite significantly, which probably makes affordability a completely different story compared to pre-lockdown levels.
Yes, so during lockdown, we saw a contraction in prices. We saw a deflation in prices of about 4.9%. When we moved out of lockdown level 4, we saw prices begin to recover, and we are now seeing single-digit 1-2% growth in prices of vehicles. So as demand increases, so prices increase at the same time, the general economic model. So there isn't anything to write home about when it comes to a real fall-off in price.
So let's talk about this 50,000 range that has grown so significantly. What does that tell us? Are they telling us we're getting more people buying cars, or are they telling us that we are getting more people wanting to scale down and buy cheaper cars?
Well, I think in the data, we're seeing this a bit of a polarization between 50,000 Rand vehicles and 600,000 Rand vehicles, where most of the search behavior is occurring, or should I say, most of the growth is occurring in those categories. It doesn't mean, however, that 300,000 Rand vehicles aren't growing. They're still growing at rates of 38 to 40 to 42%. But the 50,000 and over 600,000 Rand vehicles are growing faster.
Now, let's then talk about the types of vehicles. Before the lockdown, people were buying utility vehicles, mostly. Are they back to passenger cars now?
No, as a matter of fact, pre-lockdown level 5, SUVs, double cabs, hatchbacks, sedans, and single cabs were the most popular in that particular order. And in August 2020, double cabs has taken the top spot, and pipped SUVs to the post. And that's as a result of Bucky's. Bucky's has seen the largest year-on-year search in the history of AutoTrader. Single cabs have grown by almost 95%. That's almost a doubling of search on single cabs alone, and double cabs have increased by 81%. Now, single cab Bucky's got much more popular starting in May, which coincidentally was when food delivery started opening.
Yeah, I wanted to say it probably had a lot to do with those companies that mushroomed were distributing PPEs and distributing food. But also in general, a lot of people are seeing a Baki as a way of also earning an extra income, I suppose, in these difficult times.
Exactly right, Thabo. So, South Africans are very resilient and resourceful, in my opinion. And a Bucky or a double cab doubles up as a workhorse as well as a luxury a five-seater vehicle.
What was particularly surprising for you in any of these trends that you're picking in the last couple of months?
Well, there's two nuances. One is that the top 10 most searched vehicles, the Ford Ranger moved up, which again speaks to that double cab Bucky type environment, and moved up one place versus the VW Polo, which was more popular than the Ford Ranger before. And then the VW Golf in August beat the Toyota Hilux, which is almost opposite to the general trend of searching for Buckies. The VW Golf taking the top spot in search in August.
That's interesting. I wonder if the Polo being hit has got anything to do with the flag it's been getting on social media. But are you seeing these trends continuing in September?
Well, early signs in September, Thabo, showed that search was slowing. We've had record numbers up to August, and that just continued. We looked for signs of slowing down, and it just didn't happen. And then early September, we thought we started to see signs of slowing down or reduced search versus August. But for the last few days, when I had a look, it looks like it's continuing again. There's another surge. So while the market is still volatile, staying close to this over the next few months is going to be important to understanding consumer sentiment and behavior in the long term. But to go back to the new car versus used car, we can't have a sustainable automotive market if new car continues to be under pressure, because the new car sales are feeders to the used car automotive retail market. And so if this continues, we will see an aging used car fleet in South Africa.
Hi, George. I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing that information with us this afternoon. George is an industry expert there on motoring and the CEO of AutoTrader, George Mienie.